What's up, guys? In today's video, I'll be going over some MMA updates. While these aren't UFC specific, they do involve some former and current UFC fighters. I think you guys will be interested to hear them. They're not as exciting as the 326 co-main event, 327 main event, or any White House card updates, but they are interesting in their own right. Before we get into it, I just want to say check out my 2026 bingo card predictions video. I put it out 2 days ago, and I do think that these picks are pretty exciting. I think they're pretty good. I would be surprised if I don't get bingo in at least one or two rows. And these picks aren't necessarily the safest. I put some picks with some pretty long odds, but I do think have a decent chance of hitting regardless. With that being said, let's get into the video. First up, Jorge Masvidal unveiled his tournament for his Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA League, taking place April 10th in the Dominican Republic. He has a 16-man tournament featuring Anthony Smith, Muhammad Usman, and other notable fighters. It'll be a 16-man tournament in the heavyweight division, bare knuckle MMA. The winner gets $500,000. So far, only 6 names have been confirmed, but 10 more are on the way. He also said that on May 9th or 10th, he does have a 16-man lightweight tournament taking place in Miami. And I do think that Dustin Poirier will be fighting in that. We have seen him training with Gamrot recently, and I don't think he's one of those guys that will stay retired for long. I think of all the fighters that retire and come back, I think Poirier is the most likely to do so in recent history. Going back to the heavyweight tournament, though, Anthony Smith and Muhammad Usman are confirmed to be taking place in this event. Anthony Smith, I'm hoping that he can go the Tony Ferguson route, where he was on a bit of a losing streak in the UFC. A lot of memes were made about him. His nickname is Lionheart, but people said that it was an oxymoron and he would pull the armadillo guard, curl up in the fetal position. I'm really hoping that he can find some luck and success in this league. I hope that he's like, he can flip a switch and then hopefully get some wins. Muhammad Usman, this is another interesting name. He recently just got cut from the UFC, and I made a video about that. He got caught with PEDs, or he got caught taking PEDs, and then he was given a 3-year suspension, and then was later cut about a week or two later. I'm curious to see if he'll be tested for this promotion. If so, I wonder if he'll be clean by then. I'm excited to see this, this take place, the 16-man tournament. I don't know how the logistics of it'll work. If, every fighter will fight in the same night. If so, that would be crazy. I mean, it says just one day, April 10th. I mean, if you win, you'd be fighting, 4 fights in one night? That's just insane. I'm excited to see how this plays out. Like I said, it'll be on April 10th in the Dominican Republic. Anthony Smith, Muhammad Usman, Alexander Romanov, Nikolai Kovalenko, and other names. I'm excited to see how this goes, and then hopefully to see the lightweight tournament in Miami later this year. Next up, Zabit Magomedsharipov is making a return to Jiu-Jitsu. While it's not MMA, I'm still excited to see it. Zabit's obviously one of the biggest what-ifs in the UFC and MMA. He retired about 7 years ago. He'll be going into this at 35 years of age, which is definitely outside of it. It's not an advantage for him. It doesn't really help him out. However, he is one of the best martial artists of all time. So I do think that his skills will balance out the disadvantage in age. I'm excited to see him compete, even if it's just in BJJ rather than MMA. I wonder who his first opponent will be. I'm looking forward to it. It's a ACBJJ is a Russian organization, so I don't have too much information on that. I'm looking into it and hoping to get some information soon. Arman Sarukian, he's obviously doing all of his side quests. He's grappled and fought some notable names in recent history. Just beat Lance Palmer at RAF 05, wrestled Shara Bullet last year, is set to wrestle Georgie Poulos at RAF 06. He said he's interested in grappling Zabit. I'd love to see that. I do think it would be a bit of an unfair fight. I mean, Arman is younger, heavier, he's active, he's in the UFC, while Zabit I'm sure he's trained, obviously, before getting signed by ACBJJ, but I'm sure he did train a little bit in his free time, but definitely not nearly as frequently as Arman, so I favor Armin in this matchup. However, I'd be excited to see. I would pay money to see this. I'm excited to see Zabit come back, and I really want to see if he's still got it. And then finally, Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano is set to take place on Netflix on May 16th. This is the first MMA event taking place on Netflix. I'm really hoping it's not like the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight where, it crashed the stream would, lag and crash every 5 seconds, and the prelims were filled with a bunch of quote unquote celebrities, a bunch of unnamed streamers and YouTubers that Jake Paul, was a fan of. This fight, I don't think it holds a candle to Nunes versus Harrison, but if we're not getting that fight, then I'm excited to get this one, mostly because of Ronda Rousey, but I do want to give credit where it's due to Gina Carano. I mean, despite the fact that she's 42, 43 years old, she is one of the bigger names in women's MMA. Obviously, she's from a different generation. She's not like Nunes, Harrison, Shevchenko, Weili, Grasso. With that being said, she's definitely one of the pioneers in the sport. She's got a solid record. She is 7-1 in MMA. She she lost her last fight. What was it? 17 years ago to Chris Cyborg. I mean, that is insane. She's 43 years old, so we'll see if she's still got it. I mean, Ronda Rousey's 39 herself, so I don't think the age will be too much of a difference. But despite the fact that these ladies are getting up there in age, I'm really excited to see this matchup. I mean, if we are going to get some WMMA, hopefully it's with notable names like Ronda, Nunes, Shevchenko, Grasso. I I'm really curious to see who's going to fight in the prelims. In the undercard of this, I'm really hoping it's not some random fighters that nobody's heard of. And I wonder if this is something that MVP will be if they'll be doing going forward with MMA. They're obviously known for boxing. Like I said, Jake Paul. They have a lot of promotions in Florida, a lot of boxing matches. I'm wondering if this goes well, if that's something they'll get into. Maybe they'll get acquired by the UFC or some sort of merger or some partnership. With that being said, these are definitely some interesting retirements that have ended in recent history. Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano, Zabit, Anthony Smith. I think Poirier is likely to come back sometime this year. If not, I think he'll become a commentator. Let me know if you guys think these are exciting matchups. Let me know if you think these people should have stayed retired. If there's anybody that's retired that you'd like to see come back, let me know. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.